Okay, it's the morning. I'm out on the hunt again for a tow rope. Hoping the garage down the bottom of the road is actually open. We shall see. Okay. Tow rope. They don't sell them in the garage because they're illegal now apparently. But he lent me one. A kind garage worker lent me one. Which is really, really good of him. So I'm on my way now to. I got it on the borrow for about an hour. So I'm going to go and get Amy. Let's tow this leaf. I haven't actually shown you the leaf yet in its all its glory, which is down here, as you can probably see in the distance. There she is. Oh, hello. Happy anniversary, leaf. Right, we are off in Amy's car to go and tow, hopefully, the car away with no problems at all. Last time we tried to tow a car, Amy was driving my van and...
yeah, all my fault.
Yep, and she snapped the tow rope.
Yeah,
by accelerating off, and then it was all slack and just accelerating off, and it went ping, and it's like,
I've never
okay.
driven a van. I was trying to get the biting point, and you put your brakes on.
So anyway, let's see how this goes. Hopefully better than last time. Good.
Getting something out of the boot. Is it a Christmas present for me? Nope.
More experience gained in the previous attempt. I think it's the reverse.
Again?
Lovely morning. It's not raining, which is nice. It's like a little late, isn't it? It's meant to do on a Saturday morning. Just a bit of fun, isn't it? Just sort of what should we do today? Oh, I know. Let's go and tow my car off the road. I'm confused. Oh yeah. Oh look, it's opposite. That's good, isn't it?
Look at that lovely view. Couldn't really have left the lovely car in a nicer place.
Well, it was intentionally, it's opposite.
Obviously blocking a gate, but sorry about that. Hope nobody comes out. Maybe they'll help. They might give me a cup of tea. If you don't like tea, they might give you a cup of coffee if they come out.
Right.
I like coffee.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh, I'm scared.
Okay, ain't gonna be filming much, but the no steering, really real heavy steering, and obviously the brakes and that. I think the brakes feel fine, but I got my foot over the handbrake anyway, the hand foot brake. But you cannot put it into drive, so there's no way you can start charging again once you've got it past turtle and it's stopped like I did. You just can't get it into drive, so you couldn't regen down this hill, for instance. So there you go. Hooray! Whew, in park. That went alright, didn't it? That went alright.
It stinks though.
Yeah, that's because you're revving it up the hill with the clutch and everything.
It's not yesterday.
Yeah, it's the clutch burning. But yeah, that went alright, didn't it? Yeah. Got out through those gates. That was our worry, was getting back around that thing. But now should be in a position that needs cleaning. Look at it. At least you can't catch the reg number. Yeah, I'm hoping just to roll that back into there. So we'll give it a go. See if we can get this parked up, shall we?
I did try all the way.
We're going to roll that back and then hopefully just unhook this. You need to come back a little bit, I think, don't it? Oh no. Yeah, it's the clutch burning out. I'm coming up that bit. Right. Let's see if we can roll this back. Do you want to? Yeah, I'm going to try it now.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Look at this. Oh, let's stop him for the police. Oh, hang on a minute. What's his number?
What's his res number?
Oh, there it is.
But then if you want to go through speed cameras and break the speed limit, you need to cover your
It's like a whole layer. You need to wash your car.
Well, I've got a service on Monday and I'm kind of hoping they're going to clean it.
When he first, yeah,
I've left
when
it
he
for 2
first got
months.
this car, he cleaned it every day.
Yeah, but
He was like, oh, look at my car.
there is
And
logic
now-
to it.
Yeah, your logic is you're lazy.
No, there's logic. I know about the service coming up, and they clean the car for you. But I think even the guy in the service centre was worried, because he said, I popped in there for that charge, and he said, I think you might need to give your car a clean. But, right, let's get it going. Because I'm stuck in all day now. I really didn't want to put it outside, you see. Because I did that last time. And that was a bit annoying, because it took about an hour and a half just to get it to a position where you can actually turn it on again. Right, need to take all those things off. Hey? What do you think, Rubes? Fun, isn't it? It's only twice in 1 year.
My car really smells bad.
Yeah, right, we need to take that cable back down to that guy that kindly lent it to us. Going out to get some lunch. It's on the second light. That's it. I reckon it's okay. Worth noting, that hasn't let me down at all. 12 months, 17,000 miles. Hasn't let me down yet. So that's been working fine. The car itself is all good. It's filthy, but it's all good. Yep. No mechanical errors. That one recall. That's about it. Worked perfectly. Let's see where we're at. 6 degrees, 30 miles in the car, 33% charge, so it's 12:20. It's not too bad, gets me on the road. I could actually get to the Rapid in Gloucester, which, if I really wanted to, I could go there and rapid charge off that. But there we go. Right, this 12 months. I need to start on this. I've given it a lot of thought. And I'll split it into 2 sections, I guess, because I want to give a good rounded opinion of the last 12 months based on the experience I've had. The car itself, let's talk about the car itself. It's absolutely solid, I would say. That's my impression of it. 12 months. It's been a very good car. It feels a higher build quality than the classification that you would naturally put it in, I guess. By that I mean it feels like a Merc, but it shouldn't for the car it is. I mean, it's like a hatchback in it basically, so it's, I don't know what it would be equivalent to. I know it's pricey, but that's because of the technology. So looking past that, the actual body of the car and the type of car it is and where it sits is a hatchback. It's a Ford Focus, I suppose. It's that sort of bracket, and it feels really solid. The build quality of it is really nice. The panels and everything, the way it all sits in, it's not overly plastic. I've got the middle model, and it just feels, you know, Essentia. It feels really, really good. It feels like you're getting more than you should do. So they put the time and effort into making this a solid car. And after 12 months of banging it about, nothing's rattling now. It's just solid. Feels really good. So from that point, it's good. What do I like about the actual car? Now, being electric, it's added some features that you wouldn't usually get. You can obviously get in cars, like the push to start is brilliant. The keyless entry is brilliant. Key in your pocket is a massive time saver, a massive pain in the ass. Gone. Keys in your pocket, press the button on the side of the car, or I've even used my knee on multiple occasions. I've got my hands full, lift my knee up, tap the button, opens up. It's just really, really useful. And I know you can get that in other cars, but it's in this car, and I like that. I like the fact you turn it on. You can turn off the sound if you want, but basically it's silent. It's completely quiet. It's so, I've said it before early on, it takes an element of stress out. You don't even realise there. All that noise all the time is actually, it's just winding you up and annoying you. It's just adding a stress level, which is just removed. And then when it's removed, you realise, wow, this is nice to drive. It's just that silence. It's really, really good. The ability to turn off a stupid noise it makes at low speeds is great as well, because out here I don't need it on half the time because there's no one around, but all the time. I thank you, Nissan, for putting the ability to press that off, which is good. The dash is real nice layout. It's pleasant to look at. The car wing system, stroke infotainment, that's really, really good in comparison to other cars I've driven as well. I mean, it could be loads more, you know, it could be Tesla, it could be that sort of thing, but obviously it's not. But its core functionality is okay, it's passable, and it has been useful on many occasions. And it's pretty intuitive. Yeah, it's good. The idea is there, and it's good. It's an added feature. You know, if that feature's not there, I miss it. In the same way as putting a key into the ignition in Amy's car and having to turn it. When you get rid of all that, it's really nice not to do that. You just get in the car, boom, press a button, off you go, job done. So yeah, I would say the top ones are the silence, and the acceleration is brilliant. Anyone who's got a Leaf knows this, that you can't help it. You're always flooring it at the lights. It's just brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant. Until you drive an electric car, if you're watching this and you haven't bought one yet, the experience of driving an electric car is excellent. There's no way, you know, no one can say that it's not. There's no way they can't. You would have to have a really powerful car, petrol car, to put it on a par with this. The 0 to 30 time is just brilliant. Yeah, it's just brilliant. And you know, it's not even supposed to be that sort of car. It's supposed to be just a pottering about car, is the kind of way that it was portrayed. You want to do some short journeys back and forth. It didn't really cover the fact that it is brilliant fun. So there's that whole thing. It's the efficiency of the way the electric motor works as well. No gear changing. It's just gone, and it goes all the way up that curve, and with no effort. So that's another little level of stress that you just used to. I mean, I've said it before, it's like getting in a tractor when you get in a diesel or petrol car. It's a stupid thing sticking out halfway through the body of the car that you have to move in patterns whilst pushing down a big lever clamped to the floor. It's just bizarre. It feels very, very backwards. Doesn't feel, you know, it's like massive step back. It doesn't feel like you're just going to an equivalent. It feels like, yeah, you're in an advanced car driving an electric car, the Leaf. And I presume it's the same for the other models. So the pleasure of driving, yeah, I've driven a lot more miles than I would usually do because I drive this. It's just more enjoyable. It's miles easier as well. It's just because it's less hassle, you just tend to use it more. It is a utility. It turns into utility. It's like a washing machine, and it's just plug and play. Just plug it in, charge it up, go 100%. Next day it's plugged in overnight, it's charged up, go. It's always 100%. I mean, you don't have to. I haven't gone to a petrol station and filled up for 12 months essentially for my own car. I've done it in a van for work a couple of times. It's a handful of times I've charged up. I've filled up with petrol. Yeah, it's brilliant. It is brilliant. The experience of driving this has been great. There's no battery loss at the moment. 17,000 miles, 12 months in. I've run out twice in the year. Interested to note that I ran out on my birthday, if you've watched the previous episode, and I ran out on this Nissan's birthday. Odd little note, isn't it? It's as if we're one. It's got to run out on my birthday, and I've got to run out on its birthday. So, snap. I'm not really sure what else I can say about the car. I mean, I've been through a lot of it already in previous episodes, but it's been thoroughly enjoyable to drive. And the running out thing, that's just a laugh, really. It could be annoying if you were out in the middle of nowhere. But, I mean, I push it, as you know. And that's all that was yesterday. I could have charged at Mum and Dad's, but I didn't. I'd stopped there for an hour. I could have charged, but I didn't. So I just thought, I'll see if I can get home on it. I didn't need to. And that's what I'm all about with these episodes, really, is pushing it. Trying to push it. Just to see where it takes me, essentially. So the car, split into car, and then I'll that's really about the car. It's got its first service, but that's not in this episode, so that's Monday. So I'll let you know how that goes. Can't see any problems. But the car is covered, I think, unless I think of anything else. The plugging it in, etc., really, really easy. It's not a problem. Yeah, so I'll split it now into... Well, the next one I'll do will be something I didn't think I would have to do at the start, which is life changes. What's happened in the last 12 months to me and people around me because of getting this electric car. That'll be my next bit, which is not something I thought I'd have to cover, if I'm honest. Yes, one more thing about the car. The heating. The way it heats up, the heating element in it with this Gen 2 is miles better. It's absolutely brilliant. To be able to preheat and have the car warm, and to be able to have almost instantaneous heating as soon as you turn the car on, as opposed to having to wait for it to warm up. It is it's exceptional. It's a miles better way of running your journeys by having instantaneous heat. Just absolutely brilliant, really efficient, just a nice way of doing it. It's leaps and bounds beyond the tractor that is the ICE car. So yeah, that's a big thumbs up. I mean, that alone, being able to have heating on demand and before you get into the car is an amazing advancement. And all cars should have that. All cars should really have electric motors and batteries, but we won't mention that. Right, so things that have happened over the last 12 months. So I got the Leaf thinking, just really on a punt, as you've seen the first episode, thinking, shall I go for electric car? Is it going to be any good? It's turned out it's really, really good, despite its, what should we say, limited mileage. Can't get away from the fact done 17,000 miles in a year. So I've got the car. Massive adjustment the first 2 weeks. And the result, though, of owning this electric car is that, one, I've switched away from the N-Power and I've gone on to Ecotricity. Number 2 would be that I'm actually travelling more. I'm freer than I was before. Despite the limited mileage, I thought it would be a restriction, and you're told that it'd be a restriction. It is a restriction, but only in certain aspects of your travel. It actually frees you up immensely for doing trips you would never have done before. So you end up, restricted in some aspects, but in terms of the experience I've had over the last 12 months, I'm actually freer than I was before in travel. I'm actually able to afford to travel more. So that's an interesting one. I hadn't really heard that reported particularly, that you actually see an increase in your usage. And it costs you next to nothing to increase it. That's really the main reason, and it's such a pleasure to drive, as I talked about before. So I got the Leaf, bad 2 weeks to start with, just adjusting yourself to it. I've done loads of big trips, did the 500 miles in 24 hours, that was down to Cornwall and back up again. And even though that was difficult, it was fun. It was fun. Then Mum and Dad got a Leaf because they saw how good my experience was with it, that they then actually decided to go for theirs. I mean, you've seen this before if you've watched all the episodes. This is just really a summary of what's happened in the last 12 months. And that really, they weren't thinking of getting one at all. But they saw and worked out the cost savings and saw, this is crazy, let's give it a go. Ian's obviously got on well with it for the last 3 or 4 months. Let's do it. So they went and bought one, bought the Visia model, and they have been romping it because the miles they put on that, they're doing really well. They've put a lot on it and they have saved a fortune. They've switched to Ecotricity as well. They've got the business tariff, so they've got off-peak as well. And they charge at night time, set up a schedule on it, charge at night. Now that is Dad had a lease on a Kia. That basically sat in the garage and got dust on it. that shows you it's two car family, just two of them, and the usage on that one car was pretty much eradicated. Like refueling, I think once every 2 months or something, put some fuel in it. It's basically not used hardly at all. Development from that is that he actually that lease is ended. He's rung them up and said, can I end it early? And they said, yep, no problem. So his was sorted. That's gone. They're currently surviving on just the Leaf. I think he's getting a Dacia, so leasing another one, but it's just cheap. It's 99 quid a month. So he's having that for any long journeys he has to do, or whether the car's being used. Obviously, they can't really survive. He needs it for work. So if he has to travel out to a client, basically need a car, and mum might be using the Leaf, or vice versa. So they can just swap around both those cars. So it gives them that option, and for an incredibly long journey, they can use it as well. So yeah, they've got rid of the nice Kia and just ordered in a Dacia, cheap thing, so it can sit in the garage with limited miles on it. Yeah, so they've seen a cost saving from getting rid of seeing that the Leaf is actually capable of doing what they suspected would be being able to do based on my experience for the first 3 months. They've actually gone a step further and able to end an expensive lease and replace it with a cheaper lease and see massive fuel savings. And that's just real life, it's like these videos I've done, they are just genuine as it happens. I've run out, I've put it on camera, I've run out. Both those times, really my own fault. If you've got a bit of due diligence, you wouldn't run out. In all the trips I've done, I wouldn't. There's no need to really run out. Nothing's actually stopped me in my tracks as such. So yeah, they've seen all that working, and they've just seen fuel savings and a saving on a lease as well. Thousands of pounds a year. So that's good. So they got theirs. Susie got one, who works for me, and Mike got one, who works for me. Susie's getting on fine with hers. She's not putting many miles on it at all. She's doing very limited mileage. So she's had a different experience in the fact that I don't think she hasn't ever run out or anything like that, but she just doesn't do the miles. So her decision, I think, was more based on it's green and it should be encouraged, and therefore she's taking part in it. So that's great. Everyone has different motives. Mike has put shed loads of miles on it, and he splits it between him and his good lady as well. So they share, and they just approximately work it out who's going to be doing the most miles in a day. And he'll either go with I call it an old banger, Ford Focus, old thing. And he'll use that. Sometimes he arrives in work in the Focus, sometimes he arrives in the Leaf. And it just depends who's got the longest day ahead of him in terms of miles. He still hasn't got a charger installed, but that's by the by. It's not really part of the 12-month review. All of that has happened because this story started from episode 1. It's influenced, so it's adjusted my life, it's adjusted Susie's, Mike's, and Mum and Dad's. We were all Leaf owners now, and I've never foreseen such a massive implication. When I bought Amy's car, the Touran, I didn't end up with 4 of my friends buying Tourans. The impact, and it's far-reaching. It's a massive financial input. So it's not just me saying it's really good, you should get one. It's like, wow, they actually believe that it will work, and it does work. And they've all switched. That's 4 people. If I knew more people, there'd probably be loads more that switched. And speaking of that, these videos, I've had loads of people write to me and say they're getting a Leaf, or they've gone and got a Zoe, or something like that. And that is the other thing I want to touch on, is the people I've met over the last 12 months, either virtually online or actually at charging stations, is vast. Communications with people from all over the world. Japan, Australia, Canada, America, the UK, obviously. Probably missed some people out. I think France, Italy. There's loads and loads of places that have had little communications back and forth, and say loads of people have said, I'm going to get one. So that's really good. I'm not really that bothered if you do or don't, to be honest. It's just documenting my experiences with it. It may help someone out. I would never want to, push an electric car on someone, but you'd be mad not to get one. Or you haven't got enough money, which is fair enough. You if you can do it, if you can lease it through a business, or if you can buy it at a good price, and there's some good prices out there, definitely do it. So I think that is probably it. I think it has been pretty, if you think of it, just 12 months of what's happened for new Leaf owners, and vast amounts of hours of video that have gone up. It has been one heck of a 12 months. And the funny thing is, the last episode before this one, the one where I ran out and ended with to be continued to link into this one, nothing had really happened for 2 months. I haven't really got a lot to say, and that may be the way it goes for the next 12 months. I might not have a lot of videos, don't know. It's just become completely normal. Plug and drive, and that's it. There's nothing to keep really reporting about. I don't keep getting snagged with conking out and having to walk everywhere. It just doesn't happen. And if I'd been, say, the 2 instances I've had, and it's always on reflection, you think, yeah, I didn't need to at all. There's always other decisions, and that's part of the learning curve, I suppose. It's all part of the same thing. Eventually, like next 12 months, I might not run out at all, or I might run out more. Who knows? I might get stupid as I go along. Highly likely. Probably won't learn from mistakes and make more of the same mistakes. But no, it's been really, really good. That's the only way I can phrase it, and it's been thoroughly enjoyable, and I've really, really appreciated all the comments and views and likes that you guys have given, and subscribers. I think we're almost at 700 now, which is, for such a boring person talking about boring things, a lot of you are stuck with it, and some of you have actually written to me. And of course, one of the confusing things is, it's all right if you picked up on episode 1 and followed them through week by week, but there's some poor people out there, and I think of these poor people that are just about thinking of getting a Leaf, and they're having to go through all the videos. And I have people write to me, go, I'm on episode 13, and I say, you poor sod, because you've got to get to episode 73. Ah, dear. Hours and hours and hours of me gabbling on, and probably you've already fast forwarded most of this video, so yeah. Ooh, screw you. But yeah, I don't think there's really anything else to say. I'm thinking, and I'm not going to edit this thinking out because it takes me a while to think. Just the impacts have been huge. I haven't had to go to the fuel stations and fill up. Charge time, I've done this in another video, but I'll go on it again. Charge time, people keep on about charge time is 8 hours. It's 8 hours to charge up. It does take 8 hours, but I plug it in when I come home at night. I'm doing nothing else during that period anyway, apart from sat down, either doing some work at home or watching TV, or I go to bed. It's charging while I'm doing other stuff. When you're at a filling station for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, your sole focus is on refueling your car. So over the last 12 months, I think I saved about £4,000, something like that. I've gone 7,000 miles over my lease. But I just plug in when I get home, and it's charged in the morning. There's no time dedicated to it at all, apart from 6 seconds. 3 seconds to plug in, 3 seconds to unplug. And in fact, I don't even do that anymore. I send Toby out, my oldest, and say, can you unplug me and open the gates, please, every morning. What does he do? Goes out, unplugs me. Even a child can do it. So, yeah, that bit's not complicated. He is a very smart cookie, though. He takes after his father. Yeah, so that is a bit of a misnomer. Unless you get stuck somewhere on a slow post, then, yeah, you will have to wait 8 hours. But that's never occurred for me in the last 12 months and 17,000 miles. So it's pretty rare, and to be honest, if it's rare and you have to do it once, you ain't going to cry about it that much. So it's never happened, and my time dedicated to refueling is 6 seconds a day of 12 months. So unless I've gone to rapid charge, don't take that literally, but I mean it more or less is 6 seconds a day. You don't even think about it now. Just come in, unplug, plug in, job done. It's like having someone go out and fill your car for you and park it back in your drive and say, there you go, sir, all charged or all filled up. Yeah, that's great. So that's changed. I haven't gone to a fuel station. That's brilliant. Stinky fuel. Haven't really met any critics along the way. No one's really said they're a load of rubbish or anything like that. People have been pretty inspired by listening to a story of someone who's driven it for a decent mileage. I'm quite pleased with 17,000 in the first year. I'd be a bit disappointed if I'd done about 5,000 or 6,000, because it could have been a complete disaster. I wasn't to know that I could actually do that mileage. And I wasn't actually aware that I would do that mileage, to be honest. I thought I'd probably hit about 12 or 13. But as I say, it increased. Yeah, I think, guys, that is pretty much it. Again, thank you very much for watching all these episodes. It doesn't really benefit me, or well, I suppose it should benefit you. I just started doing them and thought, at the very least, I'll get out of this as a nice diary that I can look back on. Where do I go? That was one of the questions I asked. Where do I go? I've been thinking, where do I go after this lease is up? And there's another 3 years left, of which I'll try and document. Oh, well, I'll document it right up to the end. And where do I go? There's a lot of people. There's not actually. There's a couple of people on Twitter and forums and stuff saying electric isn't really the way and blah, 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 blah. I feel it is. I think it is the way. No one can read the future. So I'd really like to go Tesla. One other thing. I can't afford a Tesla. But that's just triggered which is not a surprise really, nor can 90% of the world afford a Tesla. I sell those 9-bot things, which you see in the previous episode. The thing I got on when I ran out happened to be in my car. That came about purely by Ola in Norway. If you're watching this, hi. Someone who watches my videos. He took a picture of him on a warehouse on one of the 2-wheeled ones, and I just asked him what it was. I've been looking out for a Segway for years, but they're hugely expensive. And then I got in touch with him, and he told me who they were, and now I'm starting a business up. From August last year, I've been dealing with 9-bot. First person to import them in the UK, and still the only person to import them in the UK. Don't go and steal my ideas. Thinking about it, weren't you? Yeah, so I've launched a website. I already run a business of my own, and I have done for the last 8 or 9 years. I sell a huge, vast range of about 16,000 products. All they're sort of paintball, airsoft, and military related. So it's a massive range of products, from clothes, paintball guns, everything, mines, all sorts of things. So I got the infrastructure there, got most of the know-how there, and brought these in, started a business, and it's doing great. It's doing really well, and I'm really pleased with how that's gone. But I would never ever have started that up if it wasn't for starting these videos and meeting you cool people. So if you've got any more ideas, fire them my way, and I might actually try and do them, because I'm always looking for another opportunity to start a business. And I have been since starting the paintball one about 8 or 9 years ago, thinking, right, what's the next thing we can do? And it's finally come along. So that's good. So I'm hoping that prospers over the next 12 months and continues to grow. Yeah, and that happens to be electric transport as well, which is the weird thing. So I've sort of gone down that. I've got the concept of the electric car, and perhaps if I'd seen them before, I would not have got them. Just wouldn't have got it. Couldn't comprehend that electric power is brilliant. So, Ola, I would have never met Ola, but if I'd seen a picture of him and someone said, "What's that?" Someone said, "It's this," and I might just thought no more of it. So that's good. Yeah. So that I basically got a Leaf. Mum and Dad got a Leaf. Susie and Mike, who work for me, got a Leaf, and their little circles of families have been affected by them having a Leaf. Started up another business based on the fact they got a Leaf. I've met loads of cool people because I got a Leaf. It's just been a great 12 months, to be honest. Been blessed in many, many ways. Family, meeting all you guys, the car working brilliantly, businesses, everything. So thank you very much, guys, and I will continue trying to make videos and document it. It's very difficult with an iPhone 6 Plus. If you're going to get an iPhone, new iPhone, don't get the Plus, because it's massive. And if you try and record with an iPhone 6, it's like that, and then try and answer a calls like that. Hello. Probably a bad choice of phone, but I had to do it because it's a new gadget, because the trouble is I just like gadgets. So yeah. 17 minutes and 50 seconds I've been talking for now, and most of you have switched off by now. For the few of you that haven't, thank you very much again. like, subscribe, and share this to anyone that might be interested in EV. Not necessarily this episode, but go and find a good episode and show them it. Show them me conking out on a flatbed RAC and say this is the worst it can get. Yeah. Cheers, guys, and here's to another 12 months. And I'll try not to break down. That'll be my challenge. No breaking down for the next... Oh, it's not going to happen, is it? But no breaking down for the next 12 months. But I will break down because it's me, innit? So, see you guys. Bye.